Flosstube. This is Doris, also known as Windy Bay or Windy Bay Stitches, and today is December 7th, and I decided to shoot a short Flosstube video. For those of you who've been watching before, you know that I moved recently, very recently, 1 week ago. Today we closed on our house in Virginia, and we left closing, got directly in the cars and drove about 6 hours and got here to Akron, Ohio. So this is now our official home. And this past week has been quite busy with unboxing and arranging furniture, and it's a lot of work. We've got most of the boxes are out now. The piles are getting smaller. The main level especially is looking pretty good. Our sort of office library area is still kind of a mess, and our basement is definitely a mess. But I thought I would go ahead and shoot today because we did start unboxing Christmas stuff yesterday, and we started putting our tree up. And I'm about to pack away my fall stuff, and I have some nice fall smalls that I have not shown before, so I thought I would go ahead and shoot those, and I'm going to call this last call for fall. So I know a lot of people are already heavy into Christmas, and for us, we tend to want to ease into it a little bit more in general, but this year, especially with moving and everything, we are just now starting to put a few things up, putting the tree up, and it's been kind of a refreshing change in a way. It just feels like there's less holiday pressure this year. We're not entertaining a local Virginia family, obviously, since we're not living there, and it just gives the whole season a different feeling, which is not a bad thing. And it's been quite snowy here in Akron, so I'm actually going to show you a peek out the window. I've been really enjoying the snow. Okay, so I flipped you around, so now I can give you a peek out the window. You can see what our front yard looks like. We've had snow, actually small amounts of snow, 4 days in a row, and it's been very pretty, never very heavy. The roads have stayed pretty clear, and we've been enjoying it. So you can see we're starting to put our tree up. It has lights, doesn't have any decorations yet, but here are my fall smalls that I mentioned I thought I would share before putting them away. So I have this old primitive style bowl, kind of like a dough bowl, but not as big, that I fill up, and then these are the two recent finishes which I shared in a previous video. Okay, so last call for fall. I'm going to show you the small pieces that I've not shown before, and I did pull patterns for these so that I can tell you where they came from. So the first one, I made this into a little pin cushion. It's just a simple sort of primitive style crow on the pumpkin. Just has solid orange on the back, and it's filled with crushed walnut shells, so it has a little more heft. And this one was from Cross Stitch Halloween 2016 Collector's Edition, which I thought was one of the best Halloween issues ever from just Cross Stitch. And this one, it was part of a pincushion pair, and it was designed by Nicoletta from Nikki's Creations. So here's the pair, and I've just done the one. Okay, and the next one is a little acorn, which is a JBW Designs, and this one has Merry Autumn stitch into it, kind of hidden in there with the two little squirrels. So I think I changed the colors on this. Yeah, I made the squirrels gray instead of the sort of orangey brown. And the backing of this one is similar solid orange, and then it just has twine around the edges, and it's very light. It's just polyfill. Okay, and then the next one is a sweet little turkey, and he is from the trilogy, and it's called Happy Gobble Gobble Day. And he came out extra small because I did him over one thread, and I'm not sure what the count is. It feels like an even weave. And he's finished with solid brown and a little bit of a sort of a twiny ribbon on the back. Okay. And then we have this guy. This was a kit, I think, or at least I think it just came with a button, maybe. And I think this is a really sweet design. It's called Autumn Harvest, and this is by You and I Friends, or by Twisted Threads. Here's the pattern. And it's got the 3 buttons, the heart, and then the little brown buttons at the top. And This one's another cube. So I did show you a Halloween cube recently. This one's a Prairie Schooler. So it came from the Prairie Schooler book 132, which is Autumn Leaves. And this chart includes the 5 smalls. And so I stitched all 5 of the smalls. I did this on, I think it's an 18 count Aida. I did all 5 of them. And then I had the idea that I wanted to put them into a cube. And when I made this one, I hadn't worked at all with comic board yet. So when I was trying to figure out how to give it structure, I actually used some little squares of plastic canvas, which really didn't work very well. I tried to make the whole cube out of plastic canvas, and that definitely didn't work. I ended up putting maybe 3 pieces in to give it some structure, and then just stuffed it with a lot of polyfill, and I let it end up kind of rounded and squishy, which is kind of fun. So it's kind of fun to pick up and you know, turn it around. For the 6th side, I just stitched fall 2015. So that's that one. And the last one I was going to show you today is actually a guild project. So last video I showed you one of my projects, the bigger project that I'm working on, which is ambrosia honey. We also do smaller projects at our monthly meetings, and this was one. It was a fall biscornu, and I think the pattern from this originally was a freebie from Victoria's Sampler. I didn't pull that one. I changed it a little bit. I didn't use the exact materials that were recommended, and I used a different sort of a sequiny bead in the center. And this was the first biscornu I'd made. It does have little beads around the edges too, and I think it came out very nice, and so I have been wanting to make another biscornu. Okay, so that is it for last call for fall. So next up I'll be doing more some Christmas stitching, more Christmas decorating. I am still stitching on my Thomas the Turkey, though I haven't picked it up in about the past week since we've been unpacking. I'm doing a little bit of work on one small Christmas piece, which I'll show you. So this is the only new thing I've been working on recently. It's one of these older Dale Burdette kits. It was probably from a thrift store. And I picked this up during those last few days in Virginia when we were just waiting for everything to be done and play out. I think I may have started it when the movers were in the house, and it took about 6 hours for them to pack everything up. So, and then I've been working on it the last couple days in the evening. So this is where I'm at. And this will be made into probably a little ornament. So, all right, so that is all I have for you today. As I said, I just wanted to do a quick check-in before I put my fall stuff away and share those. And so I should be back in probably a couple weeks. This weekend we're going to be taking our first Ohio sort of road trip together, my husband and I. We're going to go to Columbus to watch the Washington Capitals play. So we used to go to DC to see them, and now we get to go to another city, which is Columbus. So we'll be probably one of the few fans there wearing Caps gear. So hopefully they'll do well. So I hope everyone's having a great day. It's Friday, which means the weekend is near. So I hope everyone is getting some stitching time this weekend and enjoying the holidays. And I will be back soon. Look how pretty it is. It's like a scene in a Hallmark movie.